All right, greetings and salutations, you guys. We got a fun one here today. I've never seen anyone do a stable coin tier list, and I wanted to do one because some people might think stablecoins are boring. But what if I told you stablecoins are the plumbing that operates behind the scenes, underneath the ground of our crypto ecosystem that keeps everything running smoothly? And how I'm ranking these are stablecoins that I think could be a player heading into the 2028 bull cycle. So that are going to be around for a little bit of time. So let's dive right on into it. All right. So at the very top, we have the goats. Then the second tier, we have the DeFi goats. We have the not so bad. We have the if they bribe people, and then the absolute complete garbage, which you don't want anything to do with. We're starting off with PayPal USD. PayPal USD is a fiat-backed PayPal-issued stablecoin. This one matters because it has a lot of on-ramp power, brings a lot of mainstream payment network trust into the crypto rails. It's listed among the top stablecoins on CoinMarketCap, and it's pretty good for consumer-facing flows and wallets. Now, where do I think this ranks? I'm going to put this in the if they bribe people section. I think there's another one on this list that's very clearly going to be in the if they bribe people section. But the reason why I put PayPal USD in the if they bribe people section is because for it to gain the amount of traction that I think it would need to be a major player in the 2028 cycle, I think there's going to need to be some palms greased in politics, which, trust me, PayPal will do it in a heartbeat. So I do think there'll be a player in 2028, but I also think there's going to be some money changing hands to make that happen. Next up is USDD. They are actually migrating from their current contract to a 2.0 version of their contract. I think it's almost done. This is an algorithmic stablecoin, Tron DAO-backed model. One of the reasons why I think it could be successful into 2028 is because it aims to be a decentralized alternative to fiat-backed coins. It's got a smaller market cap, but a significant community that really enjoys it. It is listed as a top stablecoin on CoinMarketCap. I am going to put it in the not so bad, because it's not so bad, but it's definitely not one that I've got top of my list. Next up, we have Global Dollar. That is, of course, USDG. This stablecoin, it is a fiat-backed and enterprise-backed stablecoin, which, by the way, it's very understand the type of stablecoin that you're getting into. You're not expecting it to grow. I know there's the meme that USDC is going to $10. That's not what I mean in any capacity. However, you really do want to park your dollars in very solid stablecoins, or else you could have a catastrophe and lose a lot of your crypto winnings. Not only that, some of them on this list, they are actually traded on the stock market. So you can bet on the company that is issuing these stablecoins. So we'll get to that momentarily. But USDG, it is a fiat-backed, enterprise-backed stablecoin. It's really positioning itself for cross-border and stable liquidity for very specific exchanges and markets. I'm going to put it in the not so bad section because there's nothing great about it. It's also not that bad. It could be around for 2028, especially if it starts getting more into the enterprise-backed world. But for now, it goes in the not so bad category. That brings us to Ripple USD. The ticker is RLUSD. This is issued by Ripple. It's fiat-backed and payments-focused. Now, I know the Ripple army are going to be up in arms when I say this, but don't worry, this has nothing to do with my belief in where Ripple will go or where it is headed. However, RLUSD, man, I don't know. I think we're putting it in the garbage category. It's built for payments and rail integration on the Ripple network, but this is one that no one really uses, and I think that it's going to really struggle to find a home going into 2028. Next up, we have a stablecoin that needs no introduction. It is, of course, USDT, also known as Tether. It's fiat-backed. The issuer reserves claim USD and treasuries and other assets to make sure that there's enough money backing USDT to keep it stable. There has been some FUD around how much of that actually exists, but for now, it is the leading. About 80% of all stablecoins are in USDT right now. It has deep liquidity, universal acceptance. Again, there's some ongoing scrutiny about the reserve composition and transparency. However, so far that's been somewhat muted. So it is the largest by far in circulating supply and liquidity, dominant trading pair across most sexes and dexes, and CoinMarketCap lists USDT as the number one stablecoin in the market. So of course it goes in the GOATs section, and it will be a massive player in 2028. Not only that, it was a massive player in 2021. It's a massive player in 2024. It's always going to be a massive player. So shout out to USDT. This brings us to USD1, which is World Liberty Financial's stablecoin. It is a fiat-backed. It's really backed by real-world assets. That's kind of the main focus of this coin. And it's an example of real-world asset stablecoins gaining traction for treasury uses and business payments. It's listed on CMC. Now, the main reason why this is going where it's going, And you all know where this is going. This is probably the easiest one I've ever had if they bribe people, because it is, of course, World Liberty Financial's stablecoin. World Liberty Financial tied to the Trump family. Now, the Trump family, notoriously, there's been a story about what's going on with USD1. It's claimed that as a trade, a quid pro quo for Binance using USD1 as a stablecoin, not their own native token, BNB, or their stablecoins that they have on their network, but USD1, CZ Binance got himself a pardon. The timing of it is very suspicious. I may show some of that up here on the screen, but I think USD1 is clearly in the if they bribe people section. And to be honest, they maybe have already started bribing people. So USD1 could be a player in 2028, but we're going to have to wait and see who they pay off and who pays them to see how it goes. Next, we have First Digital USD. FDUSD is the ticker. This type of stablecoin, it's a regulated exchange-backed stablecoin. Why does this matter? It really represents exchange-driven regulated product pushes. That's what this is used for. It's used for on-exchange liquidity and custody. FDUSD is sitting at around 842 million in market cap, so it's not very big. It's not even over $1 billion. However, the angle that it's taking is pretty new, and it's in a very niche space. I'm going to put it in the not so bad category. It may play an impact in 2028. Next, we have Athena. The ticker is USDE, and this one's interesting because it's really a newer type of product. It's synthetic and structured. So what that means is it isn't necessarily backed by real-world assets or even a one-for-one dollar treasury, but it has a yield-layered financial system. Essentially, how you can understand this is really focusing on rapid growth as an alternative yield-enabled USD token. It fits the fintech yield demand rather than pure transaction liquidity. I'm going to put it in the not so bad, because when I did research, a lot of people seemed to like it. This idea of a synthetic structured stablecoin sounds a little bit scary to me. I don't know if they could bribe anyone. I'm not saying it's garbage. It's definitely not a GOAT. We're going to put it in the not so bad section by process of elimination. And that brings us to DAI, which is DAI. It is MakerDAO. This is a crypto collateralized stablecoin. Its claim to fame, there's two. Number one, it's the primary DeFi native stablecoin. This is really cool because it's censorship resistant and it's minted within the MakerDAO network using crypto collateral. Not only that, this is what they would call an over-collateralized stablecoin. It's backed by cryptocurrencies, and the amount that they have in cryptocurrencies is actually more than they need to run the stablecoin and more than they need for the market cap of the stablecoin, which can't be said for Tether. Obviously, we talked about how much FUD there was around Tether and what their actual assets look like. DAI is the DeFi GOATs because it's over-collateralized. It is the DeFi native stable token, and there's a lot of transparency around its market cap is much smaller than USDT, but it really is critical for the DeFi infrastructure, specifically fully on-chain governance and collateralized models preferred in permissionless apps. Which brings us to our final product here. It is a stablecoin USDC. Of course, this is issued by Circle. I'm not going to hold you in suspense. I'm going to put it up here in the GOATs category. It is about 20% of the total stablecoin market. I know I said Tether was 80%, so you're going to have to smooth those out a little bit. Call it 75 and 15. But USDC is backed by Circle, which is a US company that trades on the New York Stock Exchange. Now, this is very important to understand because I think coming into 2028, products like this that are institutionally backed are going to be significant players in the crypto world. This really matters because it is the compliance forward contender. It's widely used in DeFi and institutional rails. It's got strong custody, reserve narrative, and public messaging from Circle, a giant company that is going to be spending a lot of money to make sure that it can continue to steal market share. CoinMarketCap shows USDC as number 2 by market cap at around $78 billion, but it is unique because of its emphasis on regulatory compliance, audits, and public engagement with regulators. So I think USDC is not only in the GOAT section, but it's a product that I love from a company that I love, trading at around $80 in terms of its stock price right now, and that's a company that I would invest in. There you guys have it. I don't know if you agree with the list. I don't know if you don't. I don't know if you've ever thought about stablecoins once in your life, but if you haven't, they are an important piece of the crypto ecosystem, and this entire thing comes crumbling to the ground without them. Not only that, they're a very profitable business. So if you've got $1 billion laying around, starting a stablecoin, not a bad idea. Thank you all for listening. If you liked what you heard, please like, subscribe, and comment. Love you all. Bye.